Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. So for months now, I've been wanting to do a video on my regrets or things I wish we would have done differently our first year of parenthood. Specifically me, I don't want to put my husband in this category, even though like we agree on a lot of these. Just like what I regret doing with Olivia those first 12 months and what I wish we would have done differently and things like that. So I thought I would do it in a casual way, just doing my makeup, kind of like chatting as if I was chatting with a friend on FaceTime, kind of venting and opening up about a very emotional subject for me, which is my daughter and her first year of life and my first year of being a mom. So I wanted to do that today. This is very personal. It's very raw for me to share, you know, my mistakes as a mom. It's really difficult to admit a lot of these things to y'all, but I think it's helpful. I think it's like a good thing to talk about, and hopefully my mistakes help at least one person. So that's what I'm hoping with this video. But yeah, we're just gonna do my makeup, chat, very casual, very chill. Hopefully you guys like it. Let's get into it. I could have done enough research, asked more people, read more books, listen to more podcasts, and still I felt pretty clueless most of the time. So the first regret I already talked about, it was the mittens situation. Basically, we had her wear mittens for way too long, and that affected her ability to find her hands, to completely open her hands. And this is something that like no one really warns you about until you see it. And I saw it on TikTok, and that's why I decided to talk about it on my channel, because if this video is helping like at least one person not to make the same mistake I did, then it's gonna make me feel better. I wish we would have never put mittens on her, just let her scratch her face. Unfortunately, like it did slow down her hand coordination and things related to her hands, like clapping. So I'm not even going to purchase a single mitten for our next baby, and I will never use them again. This next one is, this whole thing is bringing back so many memories, because of course she's like over a year old now, but these things happen pretty early on. So the second thing is swaddle dependency. So I guess she kind of got used to the fact to be like tight and swaddled. So not only that we would swaddle her too often, which was a mistake, but we didn't stop the actual swaddle until she was about 3.5 months old. And then we moved on to the Merlin sleeping sack, which is one of my all-time favorite baby products. She also created a dependency on that one, like she wouldn't sleep unless she was swaddled. I do think the swaddle helped her sleep like very long stretches early on. If I were to do it all over again, I would only swaddle her at night when she was supposed to go to sleep, and I would do way more naps and sleeps without a swaddle in the first place, and I would transition her out of the swaddle like at 2 months, the Merlin suit, and move on to a sleeping sack like at 4 or 5 months. She didn't start wearing her sleeping sack, and this is incredibly embarrassing to say, until 8 or 9 months old. So pretty bad. This one is very situational, because when I gave birth and that winter that Olivia was like a newborn, 1 month, 2 months, whatever, it was peak Omicron or something. So I was terrified already. There were like a ton of moms in the hospital with babies with like RSV and COVID, like hospitalizations all over Houston. So I was incredibly paranoid. I didn't want my baby to be sick. It was like a scary time in the world to have a newborn baby. So we wouldn't leave the freaking house unless it was for a doctor's appointment. We wouldn't go anywhere. So Olivia grew up those first 4 months of her life, maybe more, maybe 6 months, not leaving the house, not seeing the world, not seeing people, not being in the car. Olivia doesn't nap in the car. She could be exhausted. She will not nap in the car. And not only will she not nap in the car, she hates being in the car, because we never really used to take her anywhere. So now we are having to kind of like adjust to the consequences of that. And that wasn't necessarily our fault. It did take me longer than most people to feel confident enough taking her out. Honestly, I was too anxious and I didn't want her to get sick, so we never took her out. Another situational, I mean, not traveling, obviously if we didn't leave the house, why the heck would we leave to go anywhere else? I feel like traveling when they're younger would have been so good, so easy. A little potato, you know, now it's impossible. She's walking and running and has like a million things she wants to do in a day. It would have been so nice to travel with her when she was younger, especially like to the beach or somewhere nice, Puerto Rico, anywhere. But once again, situational. This one is not moving her to her nursery sooner. This has somewhat to do with our renovation because of the noise. We wanted to keep her in the garage away from the noise as much as possible, and that just ended up working out for us for a bit, but then it ended up being pretty bad for everyone involved because first of all, my husband and I couldn't even talk. I also talked about this in my Q&A. We couldn't watch TV, we couldn't do anything because if not, she would wake up. And then she would, you know, wake up sometimes and she would see us and she would cry because she would want to be with us. So she wanted to co-sleep with us from 4 to 5 months every night, and we barely slept. We were really struggling and it was really hard. So like in April, our renovation was done for the kitchen. We were finally ready to move her. And I kid you not, that transition was so easy. Like, we were scared she was gonna cry, this, that. No, she was ready. She was ready to be more independent, and we were ready to get some sort of life back. And she slept so good that first night. She got adjusted really well. And I wish we would have done it sooner because for 2 months there we were really struggling, and I was like, this is it, I'm only having one kid. This one is funny, and it's just a Sound Machine music choice. I know some of you relate because a lot of you hate it as well. Because we have a pretty loud household, aka we're Hispanic, we have 3 dogs who love to bark, we decided the best course of action was to have a very loud song for her sleeping music. And she's now almost 13 months actually already, and we still are stuck with that music because she can't sleep without it, which is another inconvenient thing. We basically established these like patterns and routines that we've been struggling to get rid of or change because she's very routine oriented, and if she's not in her routine or in her cozy comfy environment, she just won't sleep or she just won't do the things we need her to do. So that was like our mistake. Okay, this one is something I learned the hard way, and it's 100% personal preference, but when we were shopping for her before she was born, I was still pregnant, we didn't want to spend a ton of money in a bassinet, so we got like an $80 bassinet. She was like 4 months old. I worked with Bye Bye Baby for a sponsorship. I was able to choose a new bassinet. I was like, let's just invest in a new one. She used her bassinet probably up until she was 4 months old, 3 months old. So she used it for quite a bit, and not only that, you are postpartum. So we ended up getting one that wasn't too expensive, but the key here is a bassinet that is bedside, that you can pull down and bring the baby close to you, that you can adjust the height to your bed is key. I didn't even have a C-section, and I can't even imagine not having that. I don't know how we did it. I don't know how I did it, having to get down, having to move. That thing wasn't adjustable. We have a pretty high bed, etc. So that is just a must, and that I guess is gonna fall into like my must-have baby products, but oh my god, like it would have been such a game changer. I guess this one is double-sided because at first we didn't have one at all, and now it's too strict. Hear me out. So Olivia at first wouldn't really sleep early, and all the books, all the courses that we bought in desperation said that babies were supposed to go to bed around 6:30 to 8 o'clock. And I'm talking like this was when she was like 3 to 5 months, and we would wake her up. We're so stupid. We would wake her up at 12, like, you know, at midnight, to give her a bottle so she would sleep longer stretches, which would work, but that defeated the purpose because we would want her to sleep through the night. So we were like waking a baby up, which you're not supposed to do. So we had a very loose bedtime routine up until she was moved to her crib, to her nursery. And when we did that, we were in such like a strict military routine that now we cannot leave that routine because she won't sleep. So back to this whole thing, like she needs her sound machine, she needs the AC to be at 69 degrees, she needs a fan on, she needs, you know, her sleeping sack, she needs a bath, like all these things. And if she doesn't follow this routine, or we don't, she doesn't sleep. So because we ended up establishing such a strict bedtime routine, we kind of like boxed ourselves up into this situation where we can't really take her out anywhere because she won't sleep otherwise. Okay, this one I didn't know was wrong until I was researching why she was standing on her tiptoes. Basically, when Olivia started walking, we noticed that she kept walking on her tiptoes. I was trying to do some research on why this could be happening. Every single physical therapist said that putting them in these containers too young can lead to them standing on her tiptoes because they're not at the right height, their hips are not ready, so they're literally standing on their tiptoes in those containers, which in turn, when they want to walk, they think that's what they're supposed to do. I don't know, I'm not a professional, but I'm telling you all what I saw. And this is definitely what happened. You know, for months she was in those containers, you know, trying to walk, learning how to move, etc. And then when it was time to remove those, she was on her tiptoes. I put on Instagram how we fixed it. We just pushed her hips down until her feet were flat on the floor for like a few days, and then she kind of just learned from there. But once again, if I were to do it all over again, I would just simply not use them. I don't think they're necessary. They were very convenient for me as a stay-at-home mom who works from home because I can watch her, she's entertained, but all the issues that they could lead to, I would rather just not risk it. And if I had to do it all over again, I would get the ones that have like something at the bottom so their feet can lay flat. Once again, this is pandemic baby situation. Multiple ones here. Not taking her to any baby classes, obviously I couldn't. There was a pandemic, like it was actually impossible. And even when I wanted to, she was just terrified. So she didn't meet a baby her age until June, around her age. He is like 1 month younger than her. And she was so confused. When I would play her like TV shows like the Teletubbies, for example, she would be so uninterested in parts where like real life kids were in it. And I didn't know what to do. So I just kind of quote unquote started forcing her to watch more shows like Sesame Street, and you know, Miss Rachel has a lot of like real life babies and humans in her videos, and she is also obviously a human, and that's like the only thing that really helped. And then when it was time for her to see another baby again, she was actually pretty excited. So, but yeah, socializing her would have been so much better in general. I feel like it would have kept her like more interested, more entertained, and it would have been pretty fun. But I don't have a lot of friends that have kids yet, and I was just like very scared for a while. But now she's like super into other kids. It's really cute. And this is something I always kick myself for, but when it's time to do it, I don't, which is the story of my life, if I'm being honest, y'all. Not taking professional pictures. We didn't take any at all through her first year, not even now. So I don't know, like me and my husband aren't people like to do photo shoots. Like we've never done one ever, not even for our elopement, not even for our pregnancy pictures. We literally just take all our pictures with a tripod, which, you know, they turn out fine, but I think there's something about like a professional taking your pictures that is very special. We don't really have any professional pictures of her, but we do have like obviously a ton of pictures, a ton of videos, which is really a blessing. I do wish I would have at least done newborn photography, like just to capture her being that small, especially seeing her now, because now I see those pictures from when she was a newborn that I took, you know, like ugly, not professional pictures. And I want to bawl my eyes out. Like it's just insane to see her now walking and talking and doing all this stuff, and then seeing that little potato. So I feel like professional pictures would have been amazing. I just like did not feel I was ready for pictures, so I should have just booked it for her. Yeah, that's like a vain regret, but sometimes pictures are all you have like later in life to remember, and it's all they're gonna have to see, like what their childhood was like. And not that I didn't take a million, but I just wish like at least once throughout her first year we would have done it. So this year we're definitely doing family Christmas photos and all that good stuff. So I'm excited, but it's something that like I constantly kick myself about. Okay, I think those are all the regrets that I wrote down. I think your first baby, it's just like a learning experience, obviously, for the both of you. And no matter how many books you read, no matter how many people you talk to, it's just a very individual experience. Maybe your baby loves pacifiers, maybe, you know, your cousin's baby hates them, you know. It's just, it can be so different, even like baby to baby. I'm sure all these like regrets and things I wish I've done differently, and me saying right now, well, with the next baby I'm gonna do this and that, like maybe I'm gonna be laughing at this video by the time, you know, I'm pregnant again, because who knows, you know, like who they're gonna be and what they're gonna be like. And when I say regrets, I say it loosely, because thank God she is just the most perfect baby. She was so good from day one, and I just love her with all my heart. It was a very challenging year, a very challenging experience, very scary to be a first-time mom, to kind of learn how to navigate this whole human during a pandemic, during, you know, so many things. Like we renovated our house, which in hindsight it was a terrible idea to do with a little baby, but you know, we had cops show up to our house at 2 in the morning when she was 4 months old. Like so many things happened during this first year of being parents, but really couldn't change it because she's so perfect, she's so smart, she's so sweet and kind, and I just love her. So while I say regret, I don't think I could ever regret anything that has to do with Olivia, because she is just so amazing and I'm just so proud of her. She's just like everything, you know. It was, you know, our first baby, the first grandchild. I was the first of my friends to have a baby, so it was a lot of like learning. And now that like I have some friends that are pregnant, for example, I cannot wait to, you know, try to help them in any way, because it was very isolating for a while, like with the pandemic, but just in general, being a first-time mom, with a lot of anxieties and stresses, and am I doing this right? And you know, it's just like very difficult. So first of all, I was extremely thankful to y'all for, you know, always giving me advice, always giving me encouragement, you know, commenting on the Instagram story questions that I do, like what should I do with this and what should I do with that. And you know, thanks to one of you, Olivia's diaper rush completely went away, for recommending some diapers. So like things like that, it truly does take a village, and I know most people don't have a platform of a village to get that help from. So you can always reach out to me, comment, DM me. If I don't answer, just comment somewhere and just be like, hey, please check your DM, I need help. If you need to vent and you're pregnant, like I get it. So I'm thankful for y'all as my village. Oh my God, am I gonna cry now? I just did my makeup. But yeah, I'm thankful for like the experience, what I learned. I'm thankful that she is happy and healthy and smart and amazing, even though we made mistakes along the way. I would never, unless like a child's life is like at risk, I would never judge someone for their parenting, because it is extremely, extremely difficult. But I'm thankful, like I said, that she turned out fine. And I'm thankful to all of y'all, like my little village in the internet, for all the help y'all gave me that first year, and y'all continue to give me, because I say this with like every ounce in my body, I couldn't have done it without y'all. Like so many things I would reach out to y'all for that I don't think Olivia would be the baby she is today without y'all. So thank you to you guys for going on this incredible journey with me, and for always being so kind and understanding, because I feel like the internet can be a place of judgment and criticism and hate. And not once did I come here and say something like, I don't know what I'm doing and this and that, and like we messed up, or you know, the cop showed up to our house and things like that. And not once have I received like any negative hate. If anything, constructive criticism, which I always welcome. But it just really fills my cup with joy, and I just wanted to thank you guys for that. Okay, sorry y'all, I have to get ready, and I was drying my hair, so I couldn't really talk. But I think that's everything for today's video. My makeup is looking a little interesting. I feel like every time I do my makeup and do some sort of chatty thing, one or the other isn't good, you know? Got new hair extensions to match my hair, but I am going back to the salon because it's just not copper enough. As I wash it, the copper just fades out more and more, and it's just looking blonde at this point. So hopefully next week my hair will be what I want. But yeah, let me know how you guys feel about these combos. I love doing them. They feel like I'm chatting with like a friend on FaceTime, so I know what you think. And if you want me to do kind of like things we did right or something like that, then I can like continue talking about that first year, because even though I did so many videos, I never really like took a deep dive on any of these subjects, because like I said, I was kind of learning, and now in hindsight I feel like I can actually see what we did right or wrong. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like these, just give it a thumbs up and let me know. And I just realized my camera lens isn't opening all the way. That's not good. Anyway, I love you guys. I'll talk to you guys very soon in my next one. Bye.